What's going on, guys? Sinjin HalfThunkYGO, and we're here with JohnMichael Williams, and we're doing an amazingly expensive Why Do You Do This Instead of Just Buying a House deck profile with his Despia deck that is equally ridiculously expensive as every other deck profile that he keeps uploading here with us. So we're just going to jump into it. Ignore any of the background trash you may see. That's actually us packing for him to move. Unfortunately, we're losing JohnMichael to Alabama.
Heck yeah, dude. Going to Bama.
Heck no.
All right.
So let's jump right on into this juicy deck profile.
It's the best deck. If you tell me it's Cash Tira, you're wasting your Cash Tira. You know what I'm saying?
Trash Tira.
All right, cool. We play 4 Despia monsters because these are actually not good, except this card gets you your best card in the deck, but these cards just aren't really good. So we play 4 because we need to see this, but we don't want to see any of the other ones, right? So now you're playing 4 Albaz-like monsters because you need this card to resolve the best card in your deck. And he has an okay on-field effect, but most of the time a Rise Heart just, stops it. So this is just all engine requirements, really, if you think about it. And, yeah, so those are cool monsters. Anyway, more engine requirements to resolve our spell card. The crazy combo where you need to open Lubellion, and then you do, the Renbrum, and you discard, and then you just get this and banish, blah, 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 cool. That's all, really sick and stuff. 1, it loses to Nib really hard. 2, Bestials are really butt. They're butt, they're not good. This format, at least. So you should play the minimum amount, and it'll make your deck plus 10 PP.
Everybody wants plus 10 PP.
Yeah. And then we're playing Dark Magician, and I know this is an OCG card I can read, unlike other Yu-Gi-Oh players, but this one's
Japanese.
This one's really pretty. Yeah, it says the ultimate wizard in terms of attack and defense, the spellcaster. Isn't that crazy? So this is just really pretty, and I'm going to play this casually until I have to go to an event and play the ones that aren't as pretty as this one. Cool. Thank you. Next cards, hand traps, defensive cards, right? So you probably know that they're the same 6 that every other deck is playing this format, right? Because this is good against Cash Tira, and this is good against this deck, and we don't care about the other decks because they're not good.
We don't respect them.
Yes, they're just not good. You playing Sprite, that's cool. They're really small, and my monsters are all really big, and that's just free advantage for me, right? You only need 1 of this unless you're playing that crazy combo that I already told you shouldn't play because of one of the next cards I'm going to show you, right? So you just play 1 and you manage your resources properly, and this is fine. Now, up to this point, you're probably like, Sinjin, JohnMichael, you're just playing the YCS list. You would be wrong. I'll show you why. They should have main decked this card because it's just an out to the Cash Tira field on its own. Cool. Lock down all my monster zones. Super poly both your Shanga Eras. Garura. You lose now. I'm going to play my whole turn.
Can you do that without a monster zone open to activate?
You play it. You can summon it in the extra monster zone.
Fair. Yep.
Yeah. So play Super Poly. It's really good against the mirror, and it's pretty good against Cash Tira. And if they just end on a Rise Heart because they're afraid of this or Nib, you're gonna win anyway because you have Super Poly for their 1 monster and then 5 other cards in your hand.
4 other cards.
Well, 4 if you discard the cost. That's assuming you have to play the Super Poly to out their a Rise Heart.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's this card that I'm playing. Now, Book of Eclipse is better in every way, except 1, it's not Starlight Rare. 2, it can be ashed. And I guess the third reason, I saw so many people on stream open subpar or get interrupted with an ash or a nib or imperm, and they had to use their book as a defensive card. And you see what happens when you use a book as a defensive card that says your opponent draws for every monster that gets flipped face up is you lose. That's what happens when you use that as a defensive card. You know what doesn't let them draw or can't get ashed? This card. And you can also discard stuff like Tragedy, Dark Magician, a Nib if you're going first or second, and you drew it for the 6th card because that's usually how it works for me. I don't know if that's how it works for you, but this card's just better in my book, and it's a Starlight Rare. So cool. Moving on. This is why you should not play 3 Lubellion, because this combo is better than that combo. It doesn't lose to Nib, and you get an Omni Negate with it.
This card's insane.
Crazy. Yeah, I don't know why we weren't playing this initially in Despia / Albaz decks.
I think Artesia kind of makes it a little bit better than it was originally.
It does, but it was an E-Tele for Albaz going second to just clear their threat in the mirror match, which would have been good back in the day. It's still good now. And it's also Cartesia, and Cartesia's crazy. Or, if you want to fulfill your meme dream, just like me, the best Despia player on the planet, don't copyright that, I'm a liar, you're going to summon Dark Magician with this and attack for game. Cool. So, branded
one time.
opening, this card's not really that good, but it gets you to a card that gets you to your best card. This is a running theme of this deck. You have to play it because you really want Branded Fusion in your hand. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wow, we got to the Branded Fusion. Yeah, this is the best card in the deck, and the only reason the deck's really good. Ash makes you have negative 10 PP, but our side deck deals with that. So, game one, you're probably just going to draw this card because you have a bigger wang. Okay, these cards. Every deck plays these. This card is like back and forth. Like you play this in the Lubellion combo, but I think this has application outside of the Lubellion combo.
I just like him because he's neat.
It's neat. Yeah, it's neat. But also, this deck is kind of just like how you're like. There's not like a set combo you're trying to go for every turn, right? So that's why I don't like that Lubellion play, because like a lot of players will like think, dude, that combo's so broken, it's so broken, I have to go for that every single game. Like that's the only thing in my mind, right? This deck is like a toolbox of multiple different combos, and each of those combos have like different monsters that you can place on the field. So don't get like one tracked, you know? Play Branded in white. Ruin your opponent's day.
Be a man, ruin your own day.
Yeah. These two cards. This is not a SJC one because I don't want to spend $13,000, but the Secret Pharaoh's Rare is pretty cool, and it banishes Tragedy all the same. It sucks when you draw these with Tragedy, but at least you can dump Sarnier with this, I guess, in that instance. And my wife's calling me. And you can banish Mercurier with this, so cool. Branded Retribution. I don't play Expulsion in my main or side because I don't have a small PP. Just kidding, I do, but I don't have a gimmick puppet. So that is why we are just playing this in the main, because it still gets Branded Fusion back at the end of your combo.
Yeah.
All right, extra deck. Bam. One Chimera, because if they banish this and Kashtira, they're probably losing because they didn't pick the right target. Two Mirror Jades, because you have to.
Shiny.
Two Albions, because you have to, and two Lubellions, because you have to. I was playing one of this until Cash came out and started taking away everything I loved. So this card you should play two of, but I'm only going to play max rarity, and I'm being a little bitch about it, and I only have one, so I'm playing one. But this card single-handedly beats the Kashtira board, because they can't deal with Omni Negates, and this is the only deck that puts up an Omni Negate when you play the Ultimate Wizard in terms of attack effects. Grand Guignol, this card's crazy, along with Rinbrom. These are like the two new ones. This makes Mirror Jade like a 3 interrupt, basically, and this card lets you summon this guy, and I think there's going to be like crazy combos in the future with this card. So it literally lets you send any light or dark monster that's level 6 or higher from your deck or extra deck, and that just sounds insane and maybe a little unexplored. Dragostapelia, Brigand the Glory Dragon, those, you know, Search Mercury are a good thing to Branded and Red in, maybe, if they banish this or something. And then your two Super Poly targets, which rounds up our extra deck. Alright, side deck.
While he moves this over, make sure to check out Dank Rituals. No paid promotion or anything, just love the company.
Yeah, this does feel really nice. It's like the closest to a V1 spell round that I've felt.
It literally, this is why this is my favorite. This one feels like if there was a version in between the V1 and the V2, like a V1.5, it would be this. It would be this.
Yeah. Also, if you're enjoying the video and you like our clear sarcasm, you should leave a like, because that will also give you plus 10 PP. And that's the running theme of this, just like Branded Fusion's the only good card in the deck. Okay, side deck. 3 Lancia, because it's funny, against Kashtira. And 1 Masquerade are the monsters. You need this for time, in theory. I don't know if games are going to take as long this format, per se, so this might come out. But I wanted to have it as an option to side into, just in case. 2 talents. These cards would be Aqua Dolphin and Neos Dolphin, Aquaman, whatever his name is, that one guy that you have to reveal to summon the Aqua Dolphin. But my local card store didn't have them in max rarity, and I won't play it if it's not. So here's talents instead.
Out of all the jokes that he has made, that one is not one of them. That's not a joke. He's being real. He only plays max rarity sometimes. Most of the time.
This is Hatrunade,
Yes, it is.
which is better than Lightning Storm. Because they have Lord of Heavenly Prison, right? And they have that little thing like revealed, like taped to their chest, and it says you can't destroy their spell and trap cards. Well, this doesn't do that. This just bounces them all and you kill them, just like old Giant Trunade. So, sure, train your Welcome Labyrinth. I'm probably going to ash it, or I'm just going to get over your guy, and you're going to have one trap that you set. One trap sounds a lot easier to deal with than 5. Okay. Crossout Designator, because we really hate Ash Blossom. And this card... Oh, my wife is now FaceTiming me. This card lets you get rid of Ash Blossom and D-Barrier, which we also hate. So, this is really good against like every deck in the format, honestly. But we don't like it specifically because they can call fusions, which is all that we play in our extra deck. So we use this card to banish this card so we can then play all of the cards in our extra deck. I hope you enjoyed my sarcasm. And, yeah, you should check out more of the videos on this channel and not be a lame-o. All right, Sinjin, you can do the outro. It's your channel.
Make sure to like and subscribe. Appreciate it. If you have any questions outside of John's sarcasm about the deck, put it in the comments. He will be checking those on his account. Make sure to like and subscribe. It helps us continue doing what we do. Love your face.